welcome back again to our Ask IITians. I hope again you are ready for a new topic for today's class. In today's class, I'll be telling you something about what do we mean by salts. And regarding the salts, we'll discuss about how the salts are obtained. Now, once you have obtained a particular salt, we'll also talk about how the salts are going to behave when they are dissolved in water. That means I'll be telling you the so-called term as hydrolysis of salts. So we'll do certain questions which will help you out in your examinations which you are going to sit for. So now let's start up with the topic, the new topic as hydrolysis of salts and different salts. So students, let's now start up with another topic which is known as salts. So what we are going to say here is the salts are the ionic compounds which are formed when its positive part, which is a cation, it is coming from a base, and the negative part, which is called as an anion, is coming from an acid. What I can say here is, let us for example consider a salt named NaCl. So I say that there are two basic counterparts of any salt, where one is the positive part of the salt and the another is the negative part of the salt. This positive part of the salt is known as the cation, and this negative part of the salt in this case is known as anion. What we are going to say here is the positive part, which I am calling it as a cation, it is coming from a base. Let's say for example there is a reaction taking place between NaOH and another acid HCl. So once this reaction takes place, I will say that the Na positive is going to combine with Cl minus to form a salt NaCl, and a water molecule will be released as such. So this is the formation of a salt. And in talking about the formation of salt, I say that the positive part of the salt is coming from, which is called the cation, the positive part is coming from a base. And to say on the other hand, the negative part of the salt, which is Cl minus here in this case, this is coming from an acid. So when an acid and a base combine with each other, there is always a formation of a compound which is known as salt. Let's discuss more about salts in the further slides. Now we are going to study what do we mean by hydrolysis of salts. We have told that the salts are the product of an acid and a base other than water. That means whenever an acid is made to react with a base, there is something which is known as salt which is formed, and the another thing which will be formed is water. So we say that salt is that particular compound which is formed when an acid is going to react with a base. Now depending upon the nature of the acid or a base, there can be 4 different types of salts which we have to study. Let us say for example, if I am taking a case where a strong acid is mixed with a strong base. So this is the first case. If I am mixing a strong acid, for example HCl, and I am mixing it with a strong base, for example NaOH. The salt so formed in such case is one particular type of salt. The another case can be when a strong acid will be mixed with a weak base. Let's say for example HCl, and it is being mixed with NH4OH, which is ammonia, which is ammonium hydroxide, and it's a weak base. The third case may be when a weak acid, for example acetic acid, is mixed with a strong base. Let's say for example NaOH. And the fourth case, which comes out to be the other way around, when a weak acid is being mixed with a weak base. And the example in this case can be taken as, for example HCl is mixed with NaOH. For this case we can have an example where HCl is mixed with NH4OH, where NH4OH is a weak base. The third case comes out to be when a weak acid, for example acetic acid, is mixed with a strong base, for example NaOH. And the fourth case will be when a weak acid, let's say CH3COOH, is mixed with NH4OH. Now what we have to do is, these are the 4 different types of salts which will be obtaining in each particular reaction. Now we'll try to find out what happens when such salt is dissolved in water. And whenever we are dissolving any particular salt in water, we'll get the corresponding solution. For example, if I say this is NaCl, and if you are dissolving it in water, So if I can go the other way around, that means I'm looking at the backward reaction. This is nothing but this is known as the hydrolysis of salt. Now we'll consider the hydrolysis of salts one by one in further more details. The first case which we are going to consider is, we'll consider a salt of a weak acid and a strong base. For example, the weak acid which I am going to take is CH3COOH, that is acetic acid, and a strong base, let's say, is NaOH. So when I am going to mix a weak acid with a strong base, whatever salt I will be getting will be a salt of that weak acid and a strong base. Now let's see what happens during the hydrolysis of such a kind of salt. So we say that let's take a certain amount of weak acid, for example if I consider acetic acid, and let me add to it the same amount. If I am saying the same amount, that means I am adding the same equivalence of a strong base, for example NaOH. So they are both going to react with each other, and the reaction taking place will be CH3COOH will be combined with NaOH, and the corresponding salt CH3COONa will be formed, and there will be release of a water molecule. Now we say that since CH3CONa is a strong electrolyte, so we can say that this completely gets dissociated into the corresponding constituents ion. The reaction taking place will be when you have CH3COONa and you dissolve it in water, it gets completely dissociated to form CH3COO minus plus Na positive. Now what we can say in this case, since Na positive is a cation which is coming from a strong base, so it doesn't get reacted with water, and hence it will not follow any equilibrium on its reaction with water. Whereas if I consider a weak anion which is nothing but acetate anion in this case, so this anion is basically coming from a weak acid. Now if it's coming from a weak acid, for example acetic acid, I say that this weak anion CH3COO minus will get reacted with water, and it will follow an equilibrium which is known as CH3COOH plus OH minus. So we can very easily write an equilibrium reaction taking place between the acetate anion, which is a weak anion which is coming from a weak acid, and water, and the formation of CH3COOH and OH minus take place. Now if I write the equilibrium constant for this particular reaction, I can say that since the reaction is in equilibrium, I can very easily write the K equilibrium for the reaction will be, we'll say the concentration of acetic acid multiplied by the concentration of OH minus to be divided by the concentration of CH3COO minus. Now this K equilibrium can also be known as the hydrolysis, because this reaction is nothing but this is a kind of hydrolysis reaction. Because in this reaction we are saying the acetate ion is going to react with water. So I can also call this K equilibrium as KH, and this will be written as CH3COOH multiplied by OH minus, which is to be further divided by CH3COO minus. Now if I take this into account and if I continue with the further reaction, I can say that if we multiply and divide the above equation by H positive of the solution, because we are having H positive ion in the solution, so whatever the equilibrium constant KH I have obtained as CH3COOH multiplied by OH minus to be divided by CH3COO minus. Now if I divide and multiply this equation by H positive, the concentration of H positive, since H positive will also be involved in the reaction. So if I divide and multiply both the equation by this, and if I rearrange, I can very easily write KH as, you will have H positive multiplied by OH minus to be divided by CH3COO minus H positive, and if I take the CH3COOH downside, I can here write CH3COOH. Now this, we are encountering here a very similar kind of expression which we have done earlier when acetic acid CH3COOH was being dissolved in water to form CH3COO minus plus H positive. For this reaction, I had written Ka as CH3COO minus multiplied by H positive divided by CH3COOH. Now on replacing the values here, I can say that Kh is nothing but Kw by Ka. This is the very important equation which we have to remember in the case we are doing for a weak acid and a strong base. Now if I replace the values here in this context, I can say that CH3COO minus combines with water and it is going to give us CH3COOH plus OH minus. If I say the concentration is C, here it is 0, 0, and if I say the degree of dissociation or degree of hydrolysis is again alpha, I can say this will be C minus C alpha, this will be C alpha and C alpha in this case. So again I can write the value Kh, which will be written as Kw by Ka, will be C alpha square over 1 minus alpha. And if I say that the value of alpha is very less than 1, I can say that Kw over Ka is equal to C alpha square. Now since we have obtained this particular equation, we can also derive what will be the equation for OH minus. This is nothing but C alpha. If I replace the value of alpha here, I can say that C times alpha square value will be Kw over Ka under root. So now this will be the equation which will be using, this will be under root Kw by Ka. So we'll use this particular equation to find out what is the concentration of OH minus in the solution. On knowing the concentration of OH minus in the solution, we can say that Kw is equal to H positive into OH minus. So once you know the concentration of OH minus, you can very easily go over to the concentration of H positive. Now going from the concentration of H positive, you can very easily find what will be the pH of the solution. So this was the technique which we followed in order to get what will be the pH of a solution of a salt of weak acid and a strong base. Now let's consider another case where we'll be discussing a salt which is made up of a weak base and a strong acid. Now if I take this case into consideration, I can say let's consider the acid which is a strong acid, HCl in this case, and a base which is a weak base, let's consider NH4OH in this case. Therefore, the reaction that will be taking place will have HCl plus NH4OH to form NH4Cl. Now that means that NH4Cl will get dissociated to NH4 positive plus Cl minus. Now we can also say there will be an equilibrium between NH4 positive, Cl minus and water, and the reaction will be NH4OH and HCl. Now since I can go back to the previous thing which we had done in the previous slides, I can say that HCl is a strong acid. So it gets completely dissociated to give all the H positive ions. The only equilibrium which we have to be concerned with, that NH4 positive, which will be obtained from this case, will be combining with water and it will follow an equilibrium according to NH4OH plus H positive. Now the way we have considered the equilibrium for acetate ion in water, we can also consider the equilibrium for NH4 positive OH minus in water. Now let's start up with the case once again. We say that we'll write the reaction as NH4 positive is combining with water and it will give us NH4OH plus H positive. Now let's write what will happen. In the initial case, let's say the concentration is C, so here concentration is 0 and 0 each. Now if I say this is C minus C alpha, I can say this will be C alpha and this will be again C alpha. So I can write the hydrolysis constant Kh will be defined as the concentration of NH4OH multiplied by the concentration of H positive to be divided by the concentration of NH4 positive. So in this case, I can write it to be C alpha times C alpha by C1 minus alpha. Again, if I say alpha is very less than 1, I can say that Kh will be nothing but C alpha square over 1 minus alpha, which will be C alpha square. That means again I have found out the relationship between Kh and the alpha point. Now on finding the equation, I can also say that Kh will be nothing but NH4OH times H positive divided by NH4 positive. Again, as we did in the earlier case, if I say that here also we divide and multiply the value of KH by OH minus, I can say KH will be NH4OH concentration of H positive by concentration of NH4 positive. Now if I divide it by OH minus, we'll have to multiply it by OH minus also. So the way we have done earlier, we can continue the thing here. So we can say that the value of KH will be nothing but H positive times OH minus to be divided by NH4 positive, I'll say OH minus, and then you can have NH4OH downwards. Again, we can replace the value which we have studied in the above case, where KH will be nothing but KW divided by KB. Because we had done in the earlier case that NH4OH, once it gives us NH4 positive plus OH minus, I can very easily write KB as NH4 positive OH minus divided by NH4OH. Now whatever we have found out in the above slide that KH will be C alpha square, I can use this thing here. Now if I have used this thing here, again let us say the concentration of H positive will be C alpha. That means C is here. Let's replace the value of alpha square from this equation, which will be Kw by C Kb. So this implies alpha will be under root Kw by C times Kb. If I replace this thing here, I'll say Kw by C times Kb, and the value comes out to be Kwc over Kb. Now knowing the value of this H positive which we have written from this particular equation, I can say that we can very easily find what will be the pH of the solution. Now since we have found out what is the pH of the solution, we can say that this task of finding out pH of the solution is now very nice. Let's move over to the other case where we'll be studying about the salt of a weak acid and a weak base. Let's consider. Let's say this is the third kind of case which we are going to study here, and here the weak acid which we'll be taking into account is acetic acid, and the weak base which we are going to take into account is NH4OH. So the salt which will be formed here is, I can say that the CH3COOH is going to combine with NH4OH, and this is going to give me CH3COONH4 and water. Now for this particular salt, both the anion and the cation, they are coming from the corresponding weak acid and the weak bases. Now if these are coming from the corresponding weak acid and weak bases, that means they will be very easily hydrolyzed in water. If they get completely hydrolyzed, I can write the equation as CH3COO minus plus water will be forming CH3COOH plus OH minus. So this is the first equation which is taking place. The another equation which is the reaction which is taking place is NH4 positive will be combining with water, and if NH4 positive combines with water, you will have NH4OH plus H positive. Now we can very easily say that these two particular reactions we have considered individually in case 1 and case 2. And now this is a case where we have to consider both these reactions simultaneously with the same equilibrium. If I try to derive the formula for this thing, I can say that the CH3COO minus as well as NH4 positive, they are going to combine with water, and the reaction taking place will be NH4OH plus CH3COOH. Now since the concentration of salt is same, let's say initially this is C, so this is 0 and 0. Now at equilibrium I can say, let us say this is C minus C alpha, this is C alpha and this is C alpha. So I can write the hydrolysis constant as NH4OH CH3COOH to be divided by CH3COO minus times NH4 positive. Again we can see here this is nothing but a kind of what we have done earlier. So if I multiply and divide the numerator and denominator both by H positive and OH minus, so I can say that KH will be NH4OH into CH3CO minus into H positive into OH minus divided by CH3CO minus into NH4 positive divided by H positive into OH minus, because this is what we had done earlier in the previous slides also. So I can say that KH will be nothing but H positive times OH minus, which is to be divided by CH3COO minus H positive divided by CH3COOH. Similarly, here for this case, I can say that this will be NH4 positive OH minus divided by NH4OH. And if we consider whatever we had done earlier, I can say KH will be nothing but KW by KA into KB. Now, since we have obtained KH in the terms of KW by KA into KB, we can also calculate what will be the pH of the solution. So, this was nothing but another case which we have already considered in case 1 and case 2. Now, for solving this particular kind of equation, after using the approximation, we will find that we can come over to a very important result where pH will be found out as half of pKW plus half of pKa minus half of pKb. So, we will use this particular equation in the questions where we will have to find out what will be the pH of a solution of a weak acid and a weak base. Now, moving ahead to the fourth case, which is the case for a salt of a strong acid and a strong base. Now, to consider such a case, let us say we have a salt of NaCl. NaCl is made up of a strong acid, HCl, plus a strong base, NaOH. So, the reaction taking place will be NaCl plus water. Now, in this case, I can continue the discussion further and I can say that both the cation, which is Na positive, and the anion Cl minus, both are coming from the respective strong base and strong acid. Now, since they are coming from strong base and strong acid, that means they won't be involved in any equilibrium. And if they won't be involved in any equilibrium, the only equilibrium reaction taking place will be water is going to dissociate to form H positive plus OH minus. So, there is no reaction which is known as salt hydrolysis which is taking place for this kind of reaction. That means I can say for such solutions there is no hydrolysis which will be taking place. The solution will always be neutral because the amount of H positive coming from water will always be same as the amount of OH minus which are coming from water, and thus we can say that at 25 degrees Celsius the pH of the solution will be 7 and the solution will be neutral in nature. Students, here at Ask IITians, we provide you a very good opportunity where you can ask your doubts also if you have any doubt regarding any topic. For that, you first of all have to go on to www.askiitians.com website. If you open the page, you will find a topic as Ask a Question. So, you can click at that link, Ask a Question. At the right hand side, you will get something where you will have to first of all select a category. The different categories that will be available, like it will be, you can have physics, you can have a question from maths or chemistry. So, suppose I select a question from chemistry, then here you can also attach the image of the question if you have in account. Else you can type your question here and finally click over to get an answer. As soon as you type something over to get an answer, you can ask the question from your respective teacher. So, hope this also helps you out and your query will be solved.
Hello students, now regarding the chapter we have done till the hydrolysis of salts. I told you what are salts, how are the salts classified into different categories, and what are the products they are going to form when they are added to water. Now once we have done till this part of the chapter, now we'll try to use the knowledge which we have obtained till this part of the chapter in the further part of the chapter. In the next class, I'll be telling you something about buffer solutions. And these buffer solution part is very important. So what I want from your side this time, once again, go back, read the hydrolysis of salts very carefully because I'll be using the same concept in the next class for further details. So by the time, take care and enjoy.